Hey everyone, Beth with Crafty Corner, and today I'm going to show you my take on the jar project. Basically, you write down all of the amazing things that happen throughout the year, and then on New Year's, you sit and open up the jar and read them all. I started with tinting to the jar. You add some Mod Podge into the jar, and then add some food coloring. And then in the jar, we're just going to stir to mix that together. Once it's all nice and stirred, you're going to rotate the jar so that the Mod Podge covers the entire inside of the jar. That last little bit was a little difficult on the top part. Once you get it all, set it on somewhere where you can let it sit and harden. Then we're going to put it in the oven for 30 to 45 minutes at 250. While that's baking, let's head over to Design Space. Here are my images that I'm going to be using today. This is the best year ever. I found it in Design Space Images. That's actually going to be cut out on vinyl. And then here are my little pieces of paper that I'm going to do. I just created this by going into Shapes, grabbing the square. I made mine 3x2. I also added the date and some lines and attached it to that square. This will be the envelope. There's score lines and the cut lines. So these little dotted lines here are going to be for scoring. Make sure it says score under operation. The same with the lines and the date. We want to make sure that it says pen so that it draws them. All right, now we want a bunch of these little pieces of paper, so we're going to duplicate these. Just however many you think. You can always add more throughout the year if you need to. And let's go ahead and make it. We're going to do it on a mat. All right, here you can see them, how they're going to be on while they're being cut and drawn. Let's go ahead and continue. It's going to find my machine via Bluetooth. And then I'm going to select copy paper for my paper. It is pretty thin paper, so it should be good. It's telling us to load the black pen and the fine point blade. Let's go ahead and put the pen into the machine and clamp A. And my fine point blade is already loaded in B, so we can just load our paper. It first is going to draw all of my lines and the date part. And then once it's done with that, it will cut them out for me. To take them off the mat, the best way is to flip the mat over, bend the mat back, and pull the paper straight off the mat. To make the envelope, you want to just bend the paper, fold it where those score lines are, and then glue the sides together. Once it's all glued down, you can add your little pieces of paper in here. All right, my jar is done. I'm going to pull it out of the oven. After it's cool, I wanted to add a little decal to it, so I cut out this little best year ever out of vinyl, and I am going to transfer it onto my jar with some transfer tape. Just gonna line it up really nice and go ahead and press down, making sure there's no bubbles. Once it's down, you can take off the transfer tape. Then I just hole punched a hole into my envelope so that I could put a string through it, and then I tied it right to my jar so I knew where the pieces were at all times. And there's my jar with my envelope with the pieces of paper. I'm super excited to start this tradition with my family. Happy New Year's, everybody. Thank you so much for watching. If you have any questions, give us a comment below, and don't forget to subscribe.